Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. UNIP President TILIYENJI KAUNDA says the current political environment in the country does not guarantee a free and fair election. Fred Membe describes 2020 as mud year as he predicts a difficult 2021. Details coming through after this commercial. Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Msika, allowing your business to grow. And now the midday news in detail. Despite government launching a policy to safeguard the plight of the aged people in 2016, government is yet to fully implement its provision. Among the provisions in the National Aging Policy include safe homes for them, provision of safe and clean drinking water. According to statistics using the 2020 census, indicate that Zambia's population of senior citizens was estimated at 521,860. And it was also projected that by 2020, the number of senior citizens would increase to 670,239. However, close to 5 years now, most senior citizens, such as 68-year-old Lungisani Tembo of Lusaka's Kalikiliki compound, situated in Monali constituency, are yet to fully benefit from the scheme created for them. Mr. Tembo, who has been suffering from swollen legs over a period of time, has been having challenges walking even to the nearest hospital, is now appealing for government's assistance, saying he has no means of survival.
Zambia's national policy on aging defines an older person as one aged 60 years or older, and the country's current retirement threshold is 65 years. Due to loss of work and income in old age, households with old people are among the poorest in the country. For older persons who also have a right to a decent living, it is about providing income security and the means to access basic necessities. There are a number of challenges facing the elderly in Zambia, which include social exclusion. Older people suffer from isolation due to stigma, and poverty is also highly pronounced among them. Just like many other older people, life has not been easy for Mr. Lungisani Tembo, who has limited means to survive every day that comes.
Nina vangati?
Nina vana 8.
Tuwansi bali mabwela kati?
Mabwela kumaba. Unangwali hapa mamuna. So manje wonsi hapa. Kulibe. Kama kamuonsi kamukazi. Na mkuru wake wabidi. Kwa sila. Ama ntandi zako. Ulivakudia. Ama ntandi zako. Maona. So ngati kulibe lebi. Nisi kulibe. Nitankaa so chana. Yoho, na wakazi wanga ni wesi. Wakazi wangu hapa so hapa nabwela mandimandi kwa kulibingisto ni kwenye duwarita na webi. So uta akwele kuno manja wewe utani ukansa pa manyango wako bure kani nikaoni ko mzanga weni siye. So niye kubwela kuno kwa naye ni tabeso kati muti ni siye.
Mr. Tembo, who is suffering from a swollen leg, shared with this journalist that the nearby Kalikiliki clinic has no capacity to attend to his problem. He says he's not on any social protection scheme to help him sustain his livelihood. Hence, he is calling on well-wishers who would help him with medical expenses.
Apa kasako lela ya tangata pompoloka kuchanga tingandime mwamene mwawe tipa apompolokeko suwa mwandini ndipo anivutisha menda bankala manja pa ya kwana manja about one way mama pesa kunipe kuperini yakuti ninyamuke nipe pini nendo ama vuta to ngati yakuti palika ngono mina kuna kula kati nakilo kama hapa tende anipa mendo vambo ndipo navutika mendo navutika navutika kuipa so omutesomu mudamvanga tengani chikwangu tati mtengo omuso ncho mwanti ndipo navutika manenge.
According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, social protection is a basic human right. The International Labour Organization, ILO, defines the universal protection as an integrated set of policies designed to ensure income security and support for all, paying particular attention to the poor and vulnerable. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
In other news, the opposition United National Independence Party UNIP has extended an olive branch to any Zambian willing to stand on its party ticket ahead of the 2021 general elections. UNIP President TILIYENJI KAUNDA said the decision has arrived at in the interest of choosing the best candidate to steer the country's economy. Mr. KAUNDA further explains that the party will not look at anyone's tribe, color or race in the adoption process, provided they are Zambians and eligible to vie for a political position in Zambia. He adds that even people who have been fighting the current party leadership are free to contest various leadership at the National Congress to be held soon. In the meantime, Mr. Kaunda has observed that the current political environment is not conducive to hold free and fair elections due to escalating violence and delusion of key governance institutions. Mr. Kaunda was speaking at a press briefing in Lusaka.
So for us, this is an open game. What we do is act in the national interest. Our interest particularly is a question of violence in the nation, in our politics. We're saying that we have tried as SCID, together with churches, to try and stop this thing. So far it seems that we are failing, but we cannot stop trying. We cannot have elections in August in this kind of environment, where we're all carrying weapons and our young men and women are being shot, where now mothers are fearing to send their kids for campaigns. So we, all of us, without pointing fingers, we need to come together as political parties, as civil society, as churches. We must seriously come together and agree that we must have peaceful elections in 2021.
In other news, Bars and Nightclub Owners Association Secretary General Edmond Lifukelo has bemoaned what he terms as double standards by government in fighting COVID-19. In an interview with Camnet TV, Mr. Lifukelo explains that bars and nightclubs have been complying to the set health guidelines by the Ministry of Health, adding that they are being blamed for no good reasons. He has cited markets as some of the places that government should focus their energies on, as opposed to bars and nightclubs. Meanwhile, Mr. Lifukelo says they will not accept any closures this time around until government has a proper plan for this sector, which has employed many Zambians. He says the association and its cooperating partners have been sensitizing its members and bar patrons on the safety measures of preventing the spread of COVID-19. He says people operating in the sector are still nursing injuries that came with the first closure. Last week, government announced that Zambia has recorded the second wave of COVID-19, which is more infectious, aging patrons of super spreaders events such as weddings, funerals, bars to exercise caution when attending such functions.
We are saddened as an association, bars and nightclubs owners, by the new strain of COVID-19. Of course, I think this is sad news for everyone, because as you may be aware, 2020 was a bad year for us. We started on a bad note and we ended up on a bad note. So I think we have engaged government to ensure that, we don't experience a second lockdown, because the second lockdown I think will be bad, not only for us, but it will spark a chain reaction, That's why as now as an association, we have embarked on a sensitization program together with Zambia breweries, in which, we are telling our members, we are telling our patrons, don't drop your guard. And I'm happy to say that I think this guard hasn't been dropped. But I think also, I wish to state it here, that I think our sector is being blamed very, very unfair. It's being blamed unfair. Because right now I think there's this opinion out there that bars and nightclubs are COVID-19 hotspots, which might not be the case. I think let's look at other areas also which might be dangerous rates, which you might be ignoring. For instance, the markets. Right now I can assure you that if you come to a marketplace, you come to a nightclub right now, you might find that even in a nightclub, we are practicing safer places. We are hand sanitizing. Zambia Breweries has donated masks, hand sanitizers, soaps, each and every bar right now. I can assure you, just behind you, there's one of our members. I could have shown you there's a bucket outside there, a blue bucket and some water. You see that, everyone who goes inside there, they are washing their hands. But I think if you go to markets, they've completely dropped their guards. If you go to the small buses right now, they've completely dropped their guards. People are still packed 4x4 in these small buses, without masks, without hand sanitizers. So I think this is quite very, very unfair. Our appeal is that the authorities they look into what is really causing this thing, what is really causing the upsurge right now.
The opposition Socialist Party, through its 2021 presidential candidate Fred Membe, has described 2020 as a mad year full of challenges in all spheres of life. Dr. Membe explains that in 2020, Zambians were afflicted with issues of gassing, COVID-19, political intolerance, economic collapse, extrajudicial killings, attempts to rape the constitution, among others. He, however, says Zambians should look at 2021 with renewed opportunities and new hopes of revolutionary change. The Socialist Party president urges Zambians to make the necessary political changes in 2021 if they are to see a better Zambia both in the country and in their lives. Dr. Membe says Zambians should reflect and use the many difficulties and challenges of 2020 in deciding the country's future during and after 2021. According to him, 2020 was a solemn year when many found it difficult to laugh, play, celebrate, or even smile due to many afflictions. Dr. Membe strengthened Zambians that it is only in hard times can wisdom, courage, and perseverance be manifested. This is according to a statement issued by Dr. Membe and posted on his Facebook page. Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. UNIP President TILIYENJI KAUNDA says the current political environment in the country does not guarantee a free and fair election. Fred Membe describes 2020 as mad year as he predicts a difficult 2021. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon.